All right, let's talk about why the Detroit Lions might have a shot at Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs. Used to be the running back coach, legendary running back from Colorado. Shout out to the Michigan State football fans. Y'all stole Colorado coach, but let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And it's troubling past. And one of the reasons, or the only reason that the Lions can't get Eric Bieniemy is because of his past. I mean, when you talk about a track record longer than a aircraft, talking about Eric Bieniemy. Sheesh, where do you start at, man? In his coaching career, he had several DUIs. He exchanged information, left the scene of a DUI, did several weeks in jail. He said, I thought when you exchange information, you can drive off, and they met him at the house and pretty much arrested him, put him down on the ground, put cuffs on him, and he spent several weeks in jail. He got several minor driving infractions as well in that area. They said that his track record was pretty clean as a player up there in Colorado. He's from New Orleans. Shout out to the 504. And just other stuff. His little brother basically lit some fireworks in the trash bag in the garage. Y'all like, what they got to do with him? For the most part, he tried to hide that his brother lit the garage on fire. And he got a 1-game suspension at Colorado. Him and Vance Joseph was working in Colorado University, and they basically was part of a player scandal cover-up with alleged rapes and other questionable things that went on there under their watch. Eventually, Vance Joseph was let go from the program. So was Eric Bieniemy for not, speaking up what happened. Then also, he had a situation where he was banned from the campus after cussing out a parking attendant and getting into it with him. So he got a lot of things that just happened in his career. His criminal background is probably going to hold him back, especially with his color. So you want to know why he got passed up last year? It wasn't because they went deep in the playoffs, even though he kept getting hired and hired again. As a player, he played for the Browns, the Bengals, the Eagles. He was a really good running back for Colorado, but loved up there. But his track record, not just as a player, it was minor stuff as a player. You talking about his track record as an adult. People got to understand, when you a coach, when you a former football player, and you've been playing since Papa Warner Pell, we remember the dude from a line in Ypsilanti who, put his head through the closing doors and went through the glass. You got a lot of things going on here. You got a little aches, pains, shoulder pains like me right here. I thought it was right here, but it's down in my back, so I got to go in for that. Knee injuries and brain problems. You getting hit as a running back. He dealt with some things, but you already know they don't want to put a black coach in power to be the head coach. And once they run that background on you, most teams probably was like, the GM said, well, I want to hire him. Well, his background said we can't hire him. Look at his track record. And then, you look at Matt Patricia, somebody that's done way worse. You can add up Eric Bieniemy track record. And Matt Patricia tried to put his ding-dong in a woman allegedly against her will. And guess what? Allegedly, that didn't come up in the background check, and that was learned after he was hired. He should have been fired right there. His contract should have been voided. But then again, when you don't have a complexion for the selection, it's hard to do so. So, do I think they should give him a second, a third, a 30th chance? Yeah, obviously he coached his way up through the ranks. But then again, what you don't want is Eric Bieniemy getting caught drinking and he drunk in his car somewhere on the east side of Detroit, the dirty side of Detroit. I'm just joking. We don't want that. That's just bad publicity, and then it's going to be hard for them to trust another coach with questionable backgrounds. One of the things with the Lions' history, it's simply that once you mess up, with Martha, she didn't want to hire nobody with questionable backgrounds. And, under her tenure or her husband's tenure, they passed up on a lot of girls like that. The Honey Badger, Janoris Jenkins, we could have drafted him. And just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's about probably 98% of that roster that's did something criminal, but the people don't know. So just because you got caught don't mean you're a bad person. And just because you didn't get caught don't make you a good person. Okay? So we need to stop kind of, give people a second chance. Some people deserve it. And you got to trust your locker room, your organization, to really produce that another chance. But, that's a hell of a background. Has he done something in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years? That's up to them to find out. Has there been any incident since he's been with Kansas City? And he worked his way up, and obviously he's a good coach. And people, had their questions. Oh, do he call play? I'm not worried about if a coordinator call plays, because once you come in as a head coach, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about calling plays. It's about managing personalities and, leading men. And can you lead men and can you manage personalities It's the $100 million question. Can you command respect? Can you get a good coaching staff that's going to do the right thing? And that's the thing that I'm worried about when drafting them. I'm all about giving blacks, whites, orange, Mexicans, Hispanics, Indians, Native American second chances, third chances, fourth chances. Without us bumping our head, how do we know what it feels like? Failure is okay. Making mistakes is okay. You just sit them down and say, look here, if you want to get home and you drinking, if you ain't drinking, just call us and we get you a Lyft or Uber or something of that nature. It's as simple as that. And I just never understood people driving while drunk when you can afford a Lyft or Uber, or you're going to drink. Sometimes it's hard to do. Find somebody that don't drink and have them drive you. And DUIs, they don't go away. They like felonies. They follow you. They follow your whole life. And a DUI can stop him. And a few incidents and violations can stop him from getting a whole head coaching job. Philly might have an opening. Detroit obviously got an opening. It's a lot of teams that might have an opening. And a mistake can hurt your whole life. A lot of guys that got felonies and made a mistake and doing time in jail is still paying for it today. And most of the time, the only job you got when you got certain felonies is really truck driving because it's dangerous. Lucrative, but it's dangerous. So, me and Eric Bieniemy, I just want to know, is he a changed man? That's it. If he's truly a changed man, I'm fine. I want to bring him in. I want to bring him in. I want him to get an opportunity to coach. But then again, you're going to be competing for Houston. But really, you might not be competing with nobody. And the Lions don't take risks. When they take risks on guys like Titus Young and Ryan Burroughs and Jelani Tavai. They take risks on those type of people. Take a risk on the guy who got some talent. Take a risk on the guy who made a couple mistakes. Put some outs in the contract. If you get drunk, we can get rid of you. If you get DUI, we can get rid of you. If you drive off on the police, we can get rid of you. Put those in his contract. But then again, if he ain't flying straight and he's still having issues in Kansas City, showing up late, showing up drunk to meetings and to the facilities, then you don't bring him on. If he ain't learned through his years of being a star running back of Colorado, playing in the league, and it don't seem like he got no trouble while playing in the league, so why not? But if he's still dealing with those demons, then he might just be a lifetime offensive coordinator. And maybe you can bring him on and make him the highest paid offensive coordinator. If he flies straight as the highest paid offensive coordinator, then eventually you can make him on as the coach. But Eric Bieniemy already got 2 strikes against him, his color. 3rd strike against him, his track record. And also, you look at the people who came out of Andy Reid's tree. Matt Nagy, one of those guys, he did good at all. But one thing that gives you the hope is he's been a guy that's helped Patrick Mahomes and learned under Andy Reid. And Andy Reid is the quarterback whisperer. So when you got a guy who learned under Andy Reid and know how to tweak mechanics and get the best out of quarterbacks and know how to play call, Jesus, that makes it easier to bring a guy in and get him successful. He knows what a successful quarterback look like. He played in the league. He coached in the league. He know what the lemons of the world like Alex Smith's and the luxury cars look like at Patrick Mahomes. He's picked Andy Reid brain. If you can call Andy Reid and say, hey, what you think about him? Off the record. Andy say, yeah, he ready. You got to take him in Detroit. Chances make champions, and we're a city of chances. We just got organizations that's in here, the Wings, the Tigers, the Lions, and the Pistons, who don't take chances. When they take chances on a 105-year-old player, it's on Adrian Peterson. And this is a guy who has some problems with putting his hands on his kids. Which, eventually, that's his kids need, but in this politically correct society, everybody want to judge. And the same people throwing rocks at your house, they live in a glass house. They do worse. So when somebody try to sit here and you have some issues going on, they come to light, and their family or his family or whoever trying to throw rocks at you, like, dude, they living with their own demons too. Hope people recognize that. But then again, it is what it is. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. We do some more coaching candidates. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All my social media links in the description. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram in that order is my preference as far as responding. You got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or you want to advertise your business on the channel, hit me up there. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App CJ Goods 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description as well. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think of Eric Bieniemy and just most of his past as far as criminal records that I did. But other than that, best way to donate, share the video, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. We gone.